Let's take a trip down memory lane and spill all of the small town tea. I'm your host, KP Parker, and this is Town Gossip.
Good afternoon, Marbleheads. We are here with an incredible episode. It's a delightful, petite, cute, little, gorgeous episode for you today because we're joined with Fia James, who is from Marblehead, Massachusetts. What do I know about Marblehead? I grew up not too far. What I know is we got beach, we got Wawa, we got boats, yachts, sailboats, boats of all kinds. My deal with boats, I got a bit of a gripe here, is that I think if you are putting a boat scenario within a bachelor, bachelorette party, I think honestly, your intentions are really, really pure, which I love for you. I love where your heart is at. I love where your mind is at. I think planning wise, you got to think harder. You have to be thinking harder. More than you've ever thought before when you're putting a boat into the plan. I've gone to 2 in the last year bachelor experiences with a boat in them, and they've been miserable. I love a boat. Firstly, don't get that wrong. But in a bachelor experience, you got to put the boat day 1 because otherwise I'm hung over on a boat. There is no worse place to be hungover than on a boat. You're kidding me. I have motion sickness already. Some of this is my problems. Listen, I get it. But also I know that I've never been a problem. I've never had a problem. I've never been a bad person. And so you need to help me out here. You need to help people like me out. The boat, we had a boat on the last day. Firstly, it's 45 minutes to get anywhere that has a boat. I don't care if you can see the beach from your house. It's somehow a 45-minute drive to get to the boat. That's just always what happens for me. So I'm motion sick beyond all measure. We get on the boat. It's a slide. All of us are ill and sick of each other because these are people's high school friends I've never met and quite frankly hope to never meet again. There's a slide while I am burping rum from 4 nights of shooters. I can't be doing stuff like this. The boat is not the right place for this. Another experience, we're all on the boat at a bachelor party. Yeah, I'm one of the boys. I'll brag. Yeah, I went to a bachelor party because I'm one of the boys. I'm a groom's gal. Bet you didn't know, but now you know. I'm here with all the boys. I'm trying to hang, and quite frankly, not a single word was said. We were on the boat for 2 hours, and somehow in Texas, you need a boat captain to be with you. So now we have a stranger, Crocodile Dundee style hat, while we're all truly vom mode, and not a word was said for 4 hours. Is that what you want your bachelor party to be like? Think on that. The boat has to be day 1. I don't care if people are coming from Europe. Get the flights earlier so that the boat can be on day 1 because it cannot be a hungover experience. That's what I think, and I hope you're with me on that. Change.org petition incoming, and I know there's not anything else politically pressing to work on, so let's work on that, yeah? Let's work on no boats on batch unless you're putting it day 1. Here to agree with me only and to never disagree with me is the incredible Fia James. She's so funny. You love her. I love her. Hi, Fia.
Hi, how are you?
Fia, did I get Marblehead right?
You really encompass the whole essence of Marblehead, Massachusetts, and I feel very honored and proud.
Yeah. Have you ever been hungover on a boat?
Oh God, yeah. And it's
too goddamn much.
It's truly hell on earth.
I like the wind aspect. Yeah, I do want to be,
sure.
But you're rocking. I'm smelling chum.
No.
I can't be doing it.
I can't. You can't be rocking the boat at all. Hungover.
It's not right. Don't rock the boat.
Yeah.
Okay, Marblehead, it is boat town, right? It's there's docks, there's harbors.
Oh yeah. It is a boating town. It's a fishing town, a sailing town.
True or false? Near-ish Cape Cod, yeah?
Near-ish.
Okay.
Near-ish.
Great.
I mean, it's probably like a 2-hour drive.
Oh, no. Okay. Absolutely not what I thought. Close. I thought it was 15 minutes. Okay.
No, I wish. Oh my God, that'd be so fun.
I get all of the little Massachusetts harbory inlet spots kind of all in one.
They're all kind of
they're kissing.
They're like clusters. They're like
kissing.
Yeah.
They're kissing, they're flirting, but they're still 2 hours away. Okay.
Yeah, no, it takes forever to get anywhere in the northeast side of Massachusetts.
You're closer to Boston then. You would say you're I'm from Boston.
So funny thing about Marblehead, there's no way to get on the highway. You have to get, it's a literal island, or a peninsula, I should say.
Okay.
It is like a peninsula. There's one way in, one way out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Yeah. No, it's actually it's such a, not a vibe. So you have to drive to the next town over Beverly / Danvers to get on the highway.
Yep.
Or you just gotta suck it up and go through every light there is on your way into Boston.
So like holiday weekends, is it brutal? Like is everyone in and out?
Oh my God, yeah, it's tough.
Man.
There's a lot of people.
Totally.
But also it is kind of a small town. So it's like, it's just everyone knows everyone. Everyone's related. Everyone, your brother went to school with my sister.
Yeah. Was there any like, do you have siblings? You have siblings?
I do, yeah.
Older?
I have an older and then I have a younger.
Did you ever get like where teachers like you're not like your older sibling or like you should be more like them or what were you?
No, so I'm middle. And my brother, he's 5 years older than me.
Mm-hmm. Mine too.
And
yeah.
And I think the teachers loved my brother. His name's Nick, and they were like, and they would call me by my last name, my real last name, which is I will not share on the internet right now, but they would call me by my last name, and I was like, am I doing him justice?
Was he a cool guy?
So unfortunately, no, he was not.
Please?
My brother is a cool guy. Yeah. Regardless.
He doesn't need society.
He doesn't need the societal norms and the pressure of that. No, but he was cool in his own way. Yeah. Like, I always ask this question when you were in high school, like if you could rate your popularity from F, like a grade
like
school,
a grade, yeah.
like A plus to F.
Okay. I want you to guess mine and I'm going to guess yours.
Okay. I feel like you were like a solid B.
Okay.
I think you're like a solid B. Also could be like B plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was C.
Okay.
I think
you're still passing, babe.
I think I passed. Yeah. Honestly, I do think like it took me some years to realize that people did know who I was. I felt completely like invisible, but kind of that's what I wanted. I was like, nobody look at me. I'm just like stressed out and I'm doing theater stuff.
Right.
And I don't want to be made fun of. So I was like, don't look at me. But then I think by senior year, everyone was like, no, we always thought you were cool. You were just kind of shy. Aww. Or like you were doing your own thing. So I was like, maybe C. I was like, yeah. Okay, now I think you were, I kind of want to say you were A minus, B plus.
I think I was a B plus.
Great.
I gave you what I thought, like maybe we both were.
Right.
Yeah, I think I was a B plus. So every girl group, so I grew up with like a group of 10 girls, including myself. Yeah. It was a big group of gals.
And this was from when you were little? You were just like always friends?
Yeah. Okay, I met half of them when I was like 5 years old. Oh, so cute. we go way back. Yeah. And so with Marblehead High, every girl group had a guy group. You know what I mean? Oh my God,
that's really fun.
Like every
debutante ball walking down the stairs paired up.
Very much so. So it's like every girl group had a guy group.
Wow.
We did not. So what we had to do was look further. Yeah. Broaden the horizons, as we would say. And we were friends with the older guys.
Sick. Nothing sicker you could do.
Nothing is sicker than that. You could do. Except for the fact that everybody hated that.
Oh, because they're jealous.
They were like, no, but it was also like we were freshmen hanging out with junior guys. There is a level there that
definitely. We had some of those girls, and you were kind of like. Just came in and took us by storm, didn't you?
Well, then, because it's funny, because those junior girls, they were like,
oops, we've been working on this guy. That's my investment guy.
Yes.
Don't take my investment guy. I'm going to get him by senior year.
That's my Letterman guy.
I'm playing the long game with him. And now you're coming in? Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah.
No thanks. I was always like, but I was always friends with everybody, but I wasn't close with everybody. It was like that.
Yeah, cast a wide net. Yeah, have a lot of connections. Yeah.
Sure. And and I think once you hit senior year at Marblehead High, then all the seniors are cool.
Yeah, that's what happened with ours too. I think that's like a common experience where you're like, okay, now there's no social, like, you're not going to, I don't care about what social status anything is. I'm just hanging out.
I'm just jazzing, dude.
And it did rock. Senior year was fun.
And the other thing that was so funny about like the classes was, as a freshman in the cafeteria, you would start on the far right. Like you would start on the far right and then it would go up by grade.
Was that unspoken?
Yeah, unspoken.
Whoa. Okay, sick.
Freshman would be like far right, closest to the entrance. And then you would move up in levels of the grade. And then it would be like sophomore year and then juniors. And then the seniors would be up against the wall. And I just remember freaking waiting.
I'm going to get that wall spot.
Every year. I'm like, dude, I can't wait for that spot.
Wait, but when you were a freshman hanging out with the junior boys, would you ever go into their section or not really? You still sit with the freshmen?
I would still sit. And then you
didn't want to push it too much.
No, I didn't want to push. No, come on. We already got a rep.
Let's relax.
We already got a reputation.
Yeah.
For me.
Man, I mean, that senior year was the perks. We had a free period where we would just goof the hell off.
Dude, we never got that.
And there was like a senior room. You got access to like this just like free period room where you could just like listen to blasting music. Like there was kind of no rules. No teacher was there.
Whoa.
I mean, unfortunately, I was really dorky. It was me and the anime kids.
I love that.
That's fine.
No, the anime kids,
fun. They could draw.
They also carried the entire like high school on their back.
Honest to God. And there's so many of them.
And they're so smart. They're so intelligent.
The drawings were fun. They were funny. Yeah. I was like, these friends are funny.
Yeah.
Like they're definitely dorks and they're yelling and they're running.
Sure. But they're definitely doing all of that.
They're running down the hallway in ways I wouldn't. But that's fine.
Have you ever ran with a backpack on?
Not if I can help it.
That's all that
I can help it, dear God.
That's all that they would do in the best way.
I'll miss my plane before I run with a backpack on. I can't do it.
No.
That's one of those astral projecting, like I'm looking down at myself and being like, hey, I don't think any flight could be worth looking like this. I can't do it.
No, absolutely not.
I wouldn't run if I could help that. I do think one of my most embarrassing, I don't know, this came to me in the idea of embarrassment here was, and maybe I've told this on the podcast, so sorry to listeners, but I was a bit like, I would not want attention, but I would also be doing things to kind of get attention in my own way, of course.
Right.
As all people
or girls.
And we're turned into comedians. Right. So yeah. So I did sprain my ankle and I wrapped it in like way too much gauze. Like, yeah, I should have wrapped it a little, but it was like, it was ace bandage, gauze, like little metal clamps.
Somebody
and I was like,
signed it.
Ouch. And I was like, oh, I'll wear a skirt so everyone can see that. And I wore it. I was a freshman and a senior boy went, it looks like you're just doing that for attention. Straight up said, looks like you're doing that for attention. And I went to the bathroom, unwrapped. I was like, fuck. Imagine.
Shit.
I know.
Dude, I hate it when the senior guys clocked my ass like that.
They got me good. But I am like, you would only think that if you wanted to do it too.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think like that.
Yeah, you wouldn't think like that, sir. You've probably done that as well.
Too. You wanted the attention and you're mad that I tried. And I'm mad that I tried.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm a C on the popularity. I would do things like that.
You know what? And I get that.
It's fine.
I get that.
It's fine.
I respect it too.
Thank you so much. Yeah, was there senior perks at yours? Like you could eat lunch outside? Like we had like.
No, we didn't have that.
No perks except for sitting at the back.
Except for sitting at the back. And that free period that you were just speaking of, we never had that either. Or like, were you ever able to like go off campus?
You could. Actually, I think so, but there was nothing. Like you couldn't walk anywhere. Like it's like, where would you go was kind of the vibe. It was like you could drive 15, then you'd have to turn around. It just felt like even if you could go off campus, it wasn't really worth it.
Yeah.
I think we were allowed. Okay. There was one Chinese food restaurant right across the street. So if you like ran and were like, 1 egg roll, please, you could run back in time. But you'd have to
had one of those too.
Yeah, it was really good.
That was our Chinese spot was it was called Fen Yang.
Mm-hmm. Tan Wong over here.
Yeah, dude.
Let's go.
And it was the spot where everyone would come home from college.
Oh.
And everyone would try their fakes out there and get scorpion bowls together.
Dude.
And did you ever have like the 3rd of July or like Blackout Wednesdays?
That's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
We would do that one.
Yeah.
Wouldn't do the 3rd of July, but Blackout Wednesdays.
That's like a national holiday.
Yeah.
For Marblehead, Massachusetts, on both ends. And so Thanksgiving Eve is what we call it.
Have you had any high school reunions yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to my 5-year.
I went to the 5. The 5's kind of great. Don't go to the 5.
Dude, why
if you're listening and you haven't had your 5, don't go to your 5. Also, if you're listening and you haven't had your 5, grow up. How old are you?
Grow up.
Don't be listening to this.
What are you doing?
No, it was not a good idea. You haven't had enough space from those people yet.
No, like we were not all sick of each other yet. And all of us were still in each other's business. I actually have a crazy story that is not the story that I brought today.
Oh my God, get into it.
But at my 5-year reunion,
I have one too. Wow, this is great. Okay, this jogged my... Okay, yeah.
This is amazing because I actually made a TikTok about this years ago.
Uh-huh.
And okay, little, prefacing. I lived in Boston. I grew up in Marblehead, Massachusetts, and I was a bottle girl for a long time in Boston.
Oh my God. Yeah. What bar?
It's called The Grand.
Okay.
And then Memoir and then Big Night Live. And I just sort of tossed around. So, everyone I went to high school with knew I was working in the club. Yeah. And I had tights. Come on. So we show up, 10 girls rolling deep, right, at this high school reunion. And we walk in and it's at this place called the Gary Five, which is like a vet. Like
a veterinarian?
Like no, a veteran, like hall.
Oh, like a Lions Club, whatever.
Yes,
okay, yeah.
And I was
like
in
a veterinarian's office.
No, yeah, we all brought our cats. And I was in the coat room. And I had sort of, worries that people were going to look down at me or think of me differently now that I worked in the club.
Sure.
It was my Honora moment. Yeah. And I'm in the coat room and I'm hanging up my coat and this girl comes in and she's like, "Oh, Fia, hanging coats now too." And my jaw dropped.
She's quick with it.
Because I was like, first of all, I should be so pissed off right now, but honestly, I'm very impressed.
Unfortunately, when you said it, I went, fuck,
you got it, dude.
Holy shit.
And I was like, and by the way, she handed me her coat.
And I have to ask you, took it.
You know what I did?
You took it and you hung it up. It's what sometimes it strikes you so much that you're like, I'm in shock. I have to just... I just got.
Yeah. No, here.
I get coats, yes. Hi. Nice to see you.
And then I got out. I walked out and I said to my friend Grace, I was like, and when you refer to somebody as their full name in high school, you know what I mean? So you're like, so-and-so and so-and-so, can't say her name, made me hang up her coat. And she's like, what? Anyways,
wow.
was
that girl kind of a bitch in high school?
I don't know if she was like a bitch, but I think there was some sass sprinkled in, I'm sure. But man, yeah, I think maybe it was one too many gin and tonics that night for her. But
really
I made it
funny, unfortunately.
Very fun. No, she's a lovely person.
Yeah.
But I made a TikTok about that maybe a few months after, and all of her friends in that friend group, because we have different friend groups, they were like, yeah, we knew it was about her and we're really sorry on behalf of that. And I was like, hey,
no, it's funny. It
happens and I hang coats.
It's really funny to kind of clock the exact thing you were worried about though. And so it's like, okay, I hope nobody looks down on me. And then the first thing is, we've all talked about it. Yeah. We know what you're up to.
Yeah.
Wow. So that was fun.
Yeah, 5-year reunion. 10-year, didn't go though.
Didn't go. Same. No. Okay. Because then you've done the 5 year and you're like, ugh, what am I?
Yeah, I don't need to see you guys
do that. Maybe I'll do 20. Could be fun.
Ooh, I forgot there's more after 10.
Yeah, but I think everyone starts not going even more.
Dying.
I would assume everyone starts dying. 5 year. Wow. Okay. I'm getting the vibe of Marblehead. You said everybody knows everybody. Yeah. So what is the actual drama that you have?
Okay, so the actual drama.
What's the goss?
Is Marblehead is like a utopia where high school extends past high school.
Yeah.
And we are also iconically known as a sailing town or a drinking town with a sailing problem. Okay.
That's really funny.
So I hope
that's quite cute.
I hope, I hope you guys understand what that means. People love to drink.
Yeah.
People love to drink in hometowns. It's actually nuts. I wasn't the biggest drinker. I'm still not the biggest drinker. Yeah. So I was I was very much more of the prude with my 10 girls. Skip around to, let's say, 2021. Okay. Pandemic still in full throttle.
Yep.
My good friend, let's name him Oscar. Oscar and his family owns a bar. The bar is called The Halibut. Okay. It's not really, but that's what what I'm calling it.
Sure.
Oscar and his family owns The Halibut. The Halibut is the hub.
Ooh.
The Halibut is the spot where you come home from college, you turn 21, you go and you get a Thunderdome. A Thunderdome is this necessary cocktail, if you can even say that.
Sure.
You go, and you know what a Long Island iced tea is?
Of course.
Okay, so it's like 500 different liquors.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
This is just the mystery bucket they're just throwing in. Yeah.
It's that. It's like purple. It's like brown and purple.
One of the more like concealable colors. They're like, I don't know. Just
No, like really pretty, really gorgeous.
Yeah.
No, it's not. First of all, I thought it was always called a thunderstorm. It's not. It's called a Thunderdome.
Oh.
Oopsies. Thunderdome.
Thunderdome.
Okay. You would turn 21, you'd get that, right? Yeah. That would be the drink of choice, rite of passage. And anybody that drank that didn't feel good.
Certainly.
Didn't feel good. Another thing, just to preface, is that Marblehead is known for the Marblehead pour, which means they bury you with alcohol. That's something we actually, that's like an adjective. It's like a verb. Sorry, it's we bury our customers.
You're leaving drunk.
Yeah,
or we didn't do it right.
Yeah, no, we didn't do it right. We're emptying bottles here.
Oof, yeah.
So like a wine glass, it would be filled to the top, and you'd have to like,
my God,
slurp it right there. So that's just a little background story. So to get into the nitty gritty is I had a friend visit. This was my first time meeting her. This was like a pen pal friend.
Oh, cute.
You know what I mean? From TikTok. And she was coming to visit just to like get out of wherever she was. And we could, collaborate on some things. And let's call her Ruby. And I was in a band at the time, and I was with like a bunch of my guy friends. One of them is Oscar, who owns the bar.
Great.
Bartender. So after, playing a couple of songs, jamming with the guys and Ruby, we were like, yeah, let's go grab some drinks at the Halibut. Sure.
Also, sick little like vibe. No, your band practice, then like go to my friend's bar. Very cool.
It was really
very
fun.
Cool vibe.
It was kind of like the coolest time of my life.
I'm like, wow, that's like effortless. That's like, put her in a show. Come on,
put it in something.
Put it in something. Yeah, that's great.
So we got some Vietnamese food, and she also we had a couple of canned margaritas prior to going to the Halibut. We get to the Halibut, and she's like, yeah, I'll order a Thunderdome. I go,
when in Marblehead.
Yeah, when in Marblehead, right? And I was like, whoa.
That's my buddy.
I'm like, oh, no, wait.
You don't know what you're doing.
I said to the bartender, who was not my friend at the time, it was a different bartender. I said, please do not bury her. And what does that do? That makes them want to bury them more. So she buried her. She had one Thunderdome. Having one Thunderdome,
can put you through the roof.
I mean, can put you.
Something crazy's in there. I want the ingredients list.
No, I'll get you the recipe.
We need our listeners to be making these.
It was. So she downs that.
Oof.
She goes for another, and I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is gonna catch up.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be good.
And it's not like a fun. It's ill. You're gonna be sick.
No. Yeah, it's the lining of your stomach is already like purple and burnt.
It's like crisp. Might not be human consumption wise. Like what we're supposed to be doing.
So she gets another. Oof. She drinks that. Again, mind you, we had 2 margarita cans prior to this, so now we're 4 up.
Yeah,
right.
But 4 crazy things.
4 crazy things up.
Yeah.
And God love her, because you know what? She was committed. And I think that, and I think she just wanted to hang. Yeah. She wanted to hang with the guys. Totally. Guys being dudes.
Yeah. Is it like a bit of a divey place, Halibut? It's like divey bar, or it's like normal?
It's no, it's not as divey as you would think. It's a restaurant, and then on one side is the restaurant, and then on the other is the bar. Okay. There's just like a little wall in between. And but when it gets late night, it gets a little bit, divey.
People are there. Okay.
And we're in a booth now. And I think now she's on her 3rd drink. Can I just say also, I've never in my life finished a drink at the Halibut.
You've never done one Thunderdome even?
I've had one Thunderdome, didn't finish it. Couldn't. So she's on 3. And I start looking at her. And I'm like, all right, you don't look good. We're in a booth. She's the furthest person in on the wall.
And are you with your girls, or you're with Oscar?
No, I'm with just Oscar and the boys. And I'm like, I had none of my girls there, which was such a bummer too. Yeah. And again, pandemic. So not a lot of people were in this bar. It was really just like us and our friends and the guys and them. And I start looking at her and I'm like, oh God, this doesn't look good. She's looking a little gray.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, everybody out.
Let her go.
Out of the freaking booth. Let's go. Oh. It wasn't even like 4.5 seconds later.
No. Well,
projectile.
Sweetheart.
I know. Projectile.
Oof.
Everywhere.
Couldn't make it to the bathroom.
Wasn't gonna.
It was never gonna go down like that.
No, that was not
in the cards.
That was not in the cards. That was not her route she was gonna take.
Oof.
And then it wouldn't stop, and I got actually quite worried. But it was everywhere. Oof. And it was everywhere. And for me, I'm like not good at vomit. I actually have I'm so scared of it.
Phobia or whatever?
Yes, I have that. I don't know what happened. Something kicked in. I went mom mode and obviously like got her together. You know, the awful thing about this was just like the guys in the situation.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys are so stupid sometimes and annoying.
They just say the wrong thing.
They just always say the wrong thing.
I would not want to throw up around a guy.
No.
I just do not trust that you don't get it.
I'm not safe.
I've thrown up around my gals.
Yeah.
And they always are like, oh my God, I do this all the time. Don't you worry. I'm like, I'm not worried. The guys are like, whoa, what's wrong with her?
They're
I'm like, what do you think's wrong with her? She had 3 Thunderdomes.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah. It was funny in a way for them, but it wasn't funny at all because she wasn't feeling good. But I think that's like the epitome of Marblehead because the halibut is the hub. It's the place where people go to drink so much that, you know, they end up in the hospital.
Yeah. Had you seen other people have hard times at the halibut? Or halibut's like, the
halibut. So one time, actually, another vomit story. One time I was talking to this guy that I graduated with, and at the, you know, he was one of those guys in high school that was kind of a dick. Like a dick that you kind of loved.
Yeah, it's like a charisma.
Okay, that came out wrong. Hold on.
Wait.
Like an arsehole.
That you love.
Oh, hold on. Wait a second.
Hold on now.
Not that.
A pair of balls that you... Wait. Okay, hold on.
Throbbing. No.
There's something...
That guy in high school that was just like, he was cool, but he was a dick. Yeah. And, you know, he was giving me the time of day. This was right after turning 21. Yeah. He takes a swig of something, dude. He's leaning on the bar like this. Yeah. I'm leaning on the bar like this. And he's talking a big game. And then he goes...
No.
Ugh. Like onto the bar. Onto the literal bar. And it's and then what does he do? Wipes it like this.
I can't
with his arm. Wipes it like this. Like it was like a couple of Skittles that just like fell over.
While he's trying to chat you up.
Yeah.
Voms.
And I go,
your nightmare.
I go, hey. Did you just throw up?
You have to be like dog with something in his mouth. You're like, what is that?
What is that? He goes,
did you just throw up?
He goes, no.
Ugh.
I go, what? You just puked on the bar. And he goes,
ew.
No, I didn't. I was like, and this is Marblehead. This is where I'm from.
He's kind of smooth with it.
No, and you know what? That's the thing. It's like I just got gaslit.
Yeah.
By a drunk guy.
Do you see it?
No.
Is it all over my arm and shoulder? Yeah, absolutely. It's all the way up to my elbows.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Carrot pieces just hanging off of it. Okay. Yeah. So halibut is kind of that place.
Halibut's that place. It's that spot.
Yeah. We have one of those. And this is where I learned of a surfer shot. Do you know a surfer shot?
No.
Oh, you're going to love it. So this is Plan B Tavern, also a restaurant, like not really.
Plan B Tavern?
Yeah, and it's always been called that. Is it really
called that?
Yeah, and it's kind of always been called that.
I gotta go.
Somebody who built it didn't understand, because it's in a train so it is a train. Oh, it's cool. A literal like train car that turned into a restaurant.
That's sick.
It's very sick. But I think the Plan B is like, if it's not a train, Plan B is it's a restaurant. But I'm like, no, Plan B is for
the girls.
Plan B is for the girls, but they make a mean burger. Great. But it is also it's a restaurant, also a bar, but the bar part, it gets a little kooky. But my friend, he's a bartender, and he was like, oh yeah, you're gonna love their surfer shots. Here we go. And he orders just tequila shots. And I'm like, oh great. Easy peasy.
Right.
He takes it, puts all the, salt on the hand, lime in his hand, in his other hand. He goes, here we go. You snort the salt, put the lime in your eye, and then take the tequila.
I'm sorry.
And it's called a surfer shot because it feels like you got hit by a wave because your eye is stinging and you have salt in the back of your throat. Surfer shot. And that's kind of how Plan B gets down.
You could call it something else too.
I've felt that feeling in other places.
You call it something else too, and I'm not going to say that. But that's a good way to put it. Jeez.
Yeah. Salt.
Yeah, just beat me up too while you're at it.
And then we'll slap. Well, have you done slap shots?
No, but I've always wanted to.
Man.
Not that I wanted to be slapped, but like I've always wanted to slap somebody.
I've done the slapping, and it is. I had to stop doing it. Where'd you do it? LA, they love it.
Did you do it to somebody or you got slapped?
No, like people were lining up to get slapped. And see, this is why I had to stop.
Sick.
It is
That's
super sick.
So cool.
I did have to stop because I was starting to feel that some people were taking it in a weird direction. Boys getting back in line 3 times. And I go, all right,
you want to get hit so hard. You want to get hit. So do you just raw dog it kind of thing?
Yeah, you're just like, do you want high, medium, or low?
It's like Chipotle.
Yeah, you want spicy, mild?
Mild, medium, or freaking
be like,
hot.
Yeah, medium. And then they take the shot and then you...
I wonder what that feels like. And I don't know, like, not
I've had it done. It's fine. It's fun.
Did you do light? Or did you medium?
I said medium, but people usually
go easy.
Are polite about it.
Was it a guy or a girl that did it to you?
Girl. Okay. Yeah. LA, they like it.
I can see that. It's warm there. People get friskier when the weather is warmer. So that makes a lot of sense.
There's some creative ways to go about drinking. It's a little much.
There's so many creative ways. People love drinking. Do you like drinking?
I think it's, we'll go through, I would say no, honestly.
Okay.
I'm not like kooky about it. But if it's like a friend's party, I'll have a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're at the doctor's office and they're like, okay, how many drinks per week would you say?
I'm saying like 2. I'm like, not.
Yeah.
But if it's like a party, I like save it. I guess that's my thing. I'm not like a wine in front of TV girl.
Me neither.
At all.
Yeah.
There's like nothing fun to me about, like it's not an unwinding scenario to me at all. It doesn't make me feel relaxed, but I'm like, oh, if I'm at a bar, sure, I'll have one. Or,
I think that's socializing, socialized drinking.
That's what I would do.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm the same way.
It is technically poison and it does feel bad.
And it is poisonous. and you know what?
It do be making me feel sick the next day.
And don't go on a boat either the next day after.
Not get on that boat.
That's what we would do. We would do that.
That's horrible.
A lot.
It's just the worst place to be hungover, truly.
Because it's already kind of the worst place to be there sober, low key.
Now we're talking.
Sorry.
Kind of a hot take.
Don't tell my dad. If you can find him.
And if you can, call us. We're looking for it. I love a boat, technically. Yeah. But I do think it's like one of those things where, like, did you have a swimming pool as a kid?
No.
I think it's one of those things where you're like really jealous. And then when you actually own one, I've heard, you're like, the swimming pool's not fun.
Yeah.
So I feel like a boat is one of those things, like, it's like fun because I didn't go on boats much. And then if it were too much, I would be like, all right, the boat's the novelty's been lost.
Yeah. Did you ever have a trampoline growing up?
No.
I would do this thing completely off topic. I would do this thing where I would be in somebody's like backyard.
Yeah.
And I would think about, wow. Because I grew up in a very small little house off on the water. So our yard was probably literally like the size of this couch.
Oh, really? It's like they're packed in.
It was very packed in. So when I would go to somebody's house and they'd have a huge yard, I would calculate how big the yard is by how many full-size trampolines I think could fit.
Yeah.
And I was always jealous because I was like, damn, dude, if only I had a yard.
Wow. Okay. So that was the Marblehead scenario. The halibut really...
The halibut holds it down for Marblehead.
It's funny you guys didn't do your 5, because we did our 5-year just at that bar that everyone loves. But you did it at just like a rental.
So geographically, everything is still close to each other. So you could like walk kind of, I mean, it would be kind of a long walk, but like everything is still sort of in the same area. So no, I don't think they would have let us have our 5-year at the halibut. I think because they were apart. They would also be like, yeah, no, we're going to have to send like 13 people, grown adults to the hospital.
We just can't do that right now.
So it's a liability issue, actually.
Yeah, and Fia's gonna have to get everyone's coats.
God,
which is just gonna take her.
I gotta hang up so many freaking coats, dude. I actually go around with like bottles of Miller Lite like this.
40s. You're like, I don't know.
I tape people's phones and put the flashlights on like that.
Would you have to spin? Is that something you have to do?
I mean, there was a twist. There was for those listening, there was a twist in my wrist when I had to hold the bottles up. But mostly it was about the bounce. It was about the bounce and the twist and the smile.
See, I don't know a lot about bottle girl culture. I know that.
You.
Please, I think I'm aged out.
I've aged out. You know, the pandemic kicked me out. I think I was like 23, and I was like, I'm too old for the biz.
Damn,
I gotta go.
It's a short. It's a
short-lived.
Yeah, you gotta retire. You gotta retire early.
You gotta. I think. And there have been lovely women that have stayed throughout and like all the power to them. And I love them so much. I love my bottle girls. Can I just say, also, all of them are like happily married and all have babies now. And it's truly such a delight to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I didn't get out when I did, it's like a cult. If I didn't get out when I did, I would have gotten out at least by 25.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I remember, maybe it wasn't a trend to anyone but my For You page, but I do remember bottle girl makeup. I would watch a lot of videos of bottle girl. Because truly, I don't think anyone does it better. Bottle girls.
Wait, that's such a good point.
They do their makeup.
Yeah, my makeup stayed on for a long time. I mean, you'd be there from like 5 o'clock p.m. to 3 a.m.
Wow.
That makeup had to stick.
Yeah. And it just looked cunty. It was just
it was cunty. I
really good. Really good.
Sniped.
Man, I love it. Okay. We heard some Marblehead drama. Also, how big was your graduating class?
Ooh, like maybe 230.
Yeah. Okay, great. That's around there. But it was like, yes, everyone knows everyone. Everyone
knows everyone. Everyone has kissed everybody.
Yeah. Did you have boyfriends in high school?
I did. But you know what's so funny with my friend group, with my guy friend group? We made this sort of like diagram where everyone had their names and then lines that would connect all of us because we've all like had sex and like kissed each other.
Really funny.
And dated each other. It's just too much. Too much.
Yeah.
Too much. But
we did. My friend group was so not really. We didn't date a ton. I always honestly did pretty good for myself. I had some cute little artist boyfriends.
Yeah, you did.
Had the theater and the music guys, bassists. Yeah, I was doing
those
all right.
Bassists get you in trouble.
My goodness, they're an interesting bunch.
They really are.
I think they might be the hottest of the band. What do you think?
Whoa, you think?
I kind of do because they're like not in the drama usually. Bassists like kind of keep their their nose down, don't you think? I mean, you've been in a band. What do you think?
Dude, I feel the opposite.
They're mostly the drama?
Depends on the bassist, but like, I think the craziest people in every band is the drummer.
I was just going to say drummer. Gotta be the drummer.
The bassist, though, can sometimes be like jealous because they're playing bass, and it's like usually bass players are guitar players that have to play bass.
Yeah, we needed a bassist. It's not like it was like bass has been my passion for years. Yeah.
But I mean, I had the opposite. I mean, God love him, but you know, he caused a lot of issues in with me and my band, and there were a lot of tiffs and like passive aggressive stuff.
Man,
so that band at the Halibut, man.
And was that what you were usually play?
Yeah, we play at the Halibut all the time. We would like. That's where we got our start.
Wow. Would you get little groupies? Like, would you get people that were like, oh, we're coming?
Yeah. Well, it was like all of our friends and all of our family and everyone was so close that like we'd play in the back and like it'd be these summer nights and everyone would get friggin' carbonated and
bubbly.
Like it was so fun. But
cute. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Maybe. I mean, he was 17, so maybe he just... Honestly, I think he did start drama. He
probably did.
He dated the other guitarist, the female guitarist before me, and she...
What were you?
I was nothing. I mean, I was theater. I was just coming to the shows.
So you were an artiste?
I was an artiste. I met him because we both went to arts school. Okay. We went to arts high school. And we were in like movement class together.
Love.
That's where it goes down.
Because you gotta move.
And I moved. I said, I'll make mine.
And you liked the way you moved.
I said, let me get around in there. No worries. Yeah. But she broke up with him and then she wanted him back, but it was too late. He was with me. And I said, I'm not a jealous girl. You take him if you need him.
Wait, what's your astrology sign?
Cancer.
God, I love you.
Yeah. What are you?
I'm a Taurus.
I love Taurus.
We go well together. That's why.
It's really...
What's your birthday?
July 5th. What are you?
I'm May 10th.
Okay, great.
But there's so many people I know that's like July 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
I think July Cancer's
elite, dude. Elite. Everyone.
I just think we're like, I don't have jealousy.
You're like, I just think we're better.
Maybe I'm biased, but I think we're the best people to ever live.
No, and I concur kind of.
Yeah, not really a jealous type. Pretty loyal, and I can get a little mean if I need to.
Yeah. I love that.
That's why you're stubborn.
Yeah, I guess I'm stubborn, but I'm not lazy.
Is Taurus known for being a little lazy?
Kind of. They're known for being like, very headstrong, and I don't know if they're like confrontational. They're not like Aries, but I mean, we can go into the whole thing. But
the other Taurus friends I know, it's like they're not confrontational, but they definitely are like, their boundaries, which I think is like good. I'm like,
they don't really need to say much.
It's like,
you're just, I'm gonna say one thing and then it'll be done.
That's all.
And I'm like, that's all, folks.
You had your chance.
Bye.
Done that. Interesting. Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
I don't have a bad thing to say about Taurus.
I don't have a bad thing to say about Cancers.
Wow. Have you met Cancer men? I've heard they're really bad though.
I've dated them.
Yeah. I've heard not great things. I don't know them that much.
They're not as bad as you think.
Okay.
But coming from a Taurus, I'm like, oh, I want somebody sensitive and sentimental and like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then you can go like a little too sensitive and you can go a little too
needy.
Well, not even needy, but like maybe dramatic, I would say.
Absolutely.
Perhaps.
I'm certainly dramatic.
I would say the gossip that goes through. The goss that goes through.
Yeah. I would say I'm definitely, I can heighten things up, but I feel that.
Are you an instigator?
I don't ever raise my voice. I'm not a voice raiser ever.
Yeah.
But I do feel things pretty deeply and then I don't fester.
Okay.
So I'm like, when something like hits me in a way that I'm like, ooh, I didn't like how that went down. I am definitely being like, hey, you probably didn't mean that, but that's what, like, I'm not, I don't fester out.
Okay, good.
That's my
You kind of just get in, get out.
I'm like, oh, I'll never be mad at you as long as we take care of it right now. I'm not doing this in 3 weeks.
Take care of it right now.
We're taking care of it right now.
Or else.
That's my deal. Okay, well, speaking of drama gossip, should we head to a listener submitted story?
Please, dude.
We gotta see if people are doing it as crazy as we are. Okay, this is from Athens, Tennessee.
Thank God.
You ever been down there?
Nope.
Me neither.
I've been to Nashville. Is that near that?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's gotta be.
Okay.
Same state.
Okay.
Let's say. Same state. I know that. Okay. I was a kid and this story took place in the South. Yeah, it did. I thought everything was peachy keen, but that proved to not be the case.
Yeah.
Good. My family and I had gone to the same church for about 5 or 6 years. The typical small town stuff where everyone knew everyone. Yep. I loved it because it really felt like our town was one big family. There were quite a few blended families and a lot of kids, which was quite fun to grow up with. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until I was in high school, about 5 years later, that I found out they were all swingers. Every single one. The entire community in church, all of these people I had grown up with, my extended family were swinging this entire time.
They know how to do it.
Get it.
Is that it?
No, there's a little more.
Okay.
My parents claim they never participated, but girl, come on.
Wait, for so real.
It's every other person here was a swinger, but not us.
Not us.
Oh my God.
Sweetheart, not us.
We knew about it and we would go to the parties, but oh my God, no. We never did that.
Wait.
Our church, quote, was just a swingers ring that met up on Sundays. Looking back on it today, it was very obvious, but as a kid, I never put 2 and 2 together. Yeah, of course. Now I can't help but laugh at the grossness of all those horny losers. Oh my God.
Oh my God, is she related to half of those people? Like half of those kids?
A lot of kids. You gotta wonder
Think
if
about
they're
all those kids.
They can't all be from the family they think they're from.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
First of all, that is the coolest thing that's the coolest lore I've actually ever heard of.
It's sick. I honestly have I'm sure it's annoying as she's, this person ended it with grossness of horny losers, and I understand the perspective, but I do think have a little fun.
Your parents got up to it in disguise.
Some parents haven't had sex in 25 years. Yeah. Let your parents fuck.
I bet they're still together because of it.
Because get wet at church.
Get wet. Isn't that in the Bible?
Get wet as long as you do it at church.
JC said that.
Wow.
Yeah. Wait, so, okay, that's so funny because where I'm from, swingers are also a big thing.
Beach towns kind of go hard with it, right?
Beach towns go hard because of like the sand and bikinis and stuff. But they said that, and I don't know if this is a rumor or if this is true, but they said, so we had, there's a bunch of like plaques on people's front doors in Marblehead. Some are like in the shape of a cod, and then some are pineapples.
Oh, no, it's 100% true, Fia. It's like
the pineapple thing?
Yeah.
So that was a thing. Or it was either a pineapple or your purple door. You had a door painted purple, your front door.
Wow.
And that would signify that
That
family is a swing fam.
No, pineapple's 100% true.
Okay, so
that one's real.
That isn't new. Got it.
But it's crazy.
Would you do that?
I do think like when you have kids, it is, I would be like, it's embarrassing. Oh, I would kind of just be like, I don't know. I think if you're single, or I think if you're single, you should swing. There's no such thing.
Swing.
I think if you like don't have kids, I'm like, yeah, go goof around. But I do think once you have kids, it is like bummer for that kid to be like, sorry, my parents are porking my friend's dad. Yeah. My parents are porking my soccer coach.
That's hilarious. No. Yeah, no, that would like disrupt a lot of social norms. Yeah, for me as a parent one day, if I ever become one of those, I don't think I would like participate. I don't think I'd bring my kid to the swingers functions like this. You know what? I wouldn't either.
5 years you're in this church that turns out to be swinging socials. Why do the kids have to go?
Yeah, leave the kids at home while you're swinging.
I'm sure they're not doing it in the church, but it's like to meet the prospective clients.
People love doing different things in that thing.
Wow.
They really do. That is, you know what? And again, the lore goes crazy, but once you have something like that, like as a foundation, you're a really cool person.
I really think that because it's like mainly harmless. It's all consensual. So go ahead, have some fun. And I do think something I'm reading that I like in retrospect is I loved it because it really felt like our town was one big family. And babe, it was.
And babe,
y'all, that family tree was looking connected.
Yeah, it was like the Venn diagram me and my friends had. Everyone was like this.
Yeah. Wow.
That's awesome,
That's fun.
though.
That's fun. Sorry you think they're horny losers now. I get it.
Yeah,
you had some trauma there, but we think it's good. We think it's fun.
It's okay.
It's okay. We're not sure, but we think it's okay.
We're going to do this to it.
We're saluted. Okay, wait. I did also just remember drama gossip.
Oh, please.
I know. Okay, so I was looking up some Marblehead. I was like, I think I've been to Marblehead because I'm not too far.
Wait, have you really?
Yeah, because it's Connecticut's right there.
Yeah.
So we would go. If you're beaching, and I lived in Boston for 4 years.
That's right.
Okay. So I was probably popping over. I can't remember, but I was like, ooh, is there any gossip that made the news that I can bring to you? Okay, so I have 2 little gossips, and I want you to be like, which Marblehead person are you?
Okay.
So, Marblehead gossip 1 that I've researched is, and I'm obsessed.
It's like me.
Woman arrested. Okay, this is a monk in your town. A Marblehead monk.
Okay.
Named Friar Patrick, I think.
Friar. Okay.
Yeah. Got arrested. He got served with a $3.5 million lawsuit here because they said he was siphoning COVID relief funds from his church. He took millions of dollars from COVID relief funds and he used them on his own things. And he was like, no, wait, I'm making a shrine to St. Thomas. That's where the money's going. I'm making a shrine to St. Thomas. And he's showing them around. He's like, we've been working on it for 2 years. I watched the video. Rocks. There's nothing made. Not a single thing has been made. He hasn't put up like 3 supporting beams. And he's like, we're working on it. We're working on the shrine for St. Thomas. So he got a huge lawsuit, him and his wife, which I didn't know monks were allowed to have wives.
I didn't either.
His wife. I don't know. Leah Stanton. Sorry. It's
Wait,
public.
That sounds so familiar. Okay.
And they dropped the charges. He got through it. The charges got dropped. But they were like, the reporter was interviewing him. They're like, yeah, I think something that definitely struck as odd was that people didn't think it was really appropriate for you to have a $40,000 Rolex. What do you have to say about that? And he goes, well, people in the church noticed that I didn't have a watch. So if they wanted to give me a watch, that's all I have to say. And then it cuts to the wife, Fia, and you're like, okay, I think I can picture what a monk's wife looks like. No, you can't. Her hair is out of the frame. It's so big.
What?
It's incredible. It's a jump scare in like the funniest way. Her hair is humongous. She looks insane. Dude. And she goes, I don't think we live a lavish lifestyle at all. And I'm so happy the charges have been dropped. And that's all I got from it. So the charges have been dropped, but he has a $40,000 Rolex and a shrine to St. Thomas that has not been built.
And he got away with it.
Got away with it. The charges were dropped. And he's like, I still would love an apology from the officials. I go, hey, the Rolex is good enough. Keep it.
Friar what?
Friar Patrick, I think, or something.
Dude, that is a Marblehead name. Can I tell you? First of all, they're not from there. There's no way.
I honestly didn't get huge Marblehead vibes, but they live in Marblehead.
Hair, unfortunately, I don't think that's very Marblehead.
I don't know, and it didn't look like
they like it flat.
Hers was different. It was giving New Jersey big. Yeah, like there's a difference between Texas big, New Jersey big. Hers was giving New Jersey big, so maybe they're from there. So that's Marblehead case 1.
Whoa, case 1, crazy.
Marblehead case 2 was, I didn't get much info on this, but what I got, I liked. 19-year-old girl, unfortunately, is going to jail for 4 years. A Marblehead woman. She is going to jail for 4 years.
This is so fun because it's like news stuff for me too.
Yeah. She's going to jail for 4 years because she, at a bar, got lit up, got into a fight. And the police came to get her and she bit the ear off of the cop. And they only found it because she spit it out when she was in the police car already. And it was the size of a nickel to a quarter, they said. A nickel to a quarter. And the cop had only been on duty for 6 months. He was a brand new cop. And they said the only way that they got her off of him was the cop had to poke her in the eyes. Oh. And she pleaded, she took it. So God bless. She said, I did do that. I did bite your ear off.
Yeah.
I did bite a quarter of your ear off.
Yeah.
And she said, I'll take the 4 years.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yes, I know her.
Not personally.
Yes.
No.
I think I have no comment about that. I know. But you know what?
She took it.
Shit happens when you're 19. And,
I know.
But yes, no, I remember when I heard about that, and I was. Shit happens, and you're like, oh my God, okay.
It was shocking. It is like a bummer. Like, I'm like,
it's such a bummer.
We've all been stupid.
Yeah.
We've all been dumb. 19, stumbling home. Yeah. It's like things absolutely happen.
And this is the thing about Massachusetts. It's like, it's a normal thing to get belligerent. Yes. And I think that's like sort of the downfall of our small town. Yeah. It's like, there's too much normalcy around drinking.
Honestly.
And I think it shapes us in such
it's like not like these things are
stagnant way. Like you're not supposed to be. And this is like separate from her too. It's just like this applies, I think, to this story though.
Totally. And I think it's all cute till it's not. It's like drinking's like, in theory fun, haha, but it is like, damn, do we gotta push it so hard for all the DUIs? And do we gotta I think it is like, especially just talking to a lot of my sober friends, they are like, it is insane how much our culture revolves around it.
Right.
And especially in these
small little towns when you got nothing to do, but you're like on the water, boozing it up and, biting people.
And 19, bummer.
19, but, we learn from it. And
apparently the cop went to the trial and was like, kind of like, no worries, a little. Like, some worries. My ear's off. But I would not be surprised if she gets let out nice and early.
Yeah, I think
she'll be.
I think she is.
She'll be all right.
And I think she's got a good, good head on your shoulders now. You live and you learn.
You absolutely will never do that again once you've done it once.
We can't be doing that.
Girl, we can't be doing that.
We can't
bite the ears off cops.
We can't be doing that. I was like,
yeah.
Whatever you bring to the table, I feel like I'm going to know. When you brought Monk to the table, I was like, I have no idea.
Monk might be brand new. We got to check on Monk.
Yeah, I got to get a date on that.
And I think you should look at him because honestly, he wasn't giving Marblehead. I'd be curious where they're coming from.
I know. I wonder where he lives. I could probably look that up.
He showed the plans for what the shrine is going to look like. So keep an eye out.
Okay, I will.
I don't think it'll ever get built based on what I'm seeing. I'm like, it's been years and it looked like a dungeon. I was like, rocks?
Yeah, no.
Rocks.
Well, you know what? Marblehead's very rocky.
Yeah, I think I get that. I guess I was hoping the shrine could be sort of anything recognizable.
Was he stacking the rocks? Because they like to do that there.
No, it was like, it's like a house. Like the shrine's going to be a house. Oh. It's like a full house. And it looked like an unfinished basement. Like you could still see just like sediment.
Oh, so yeah, no progress.
He's not gonna finish that. He's busy with his Rolex.
Nice job, Fryer.
Those are the two that I have. Well,
which one do I connect with more? You're asking. I would say the Monk.
Yeah,
I would say I would say that. I mean,
I would say the Monk.
Good for him with the keep up.
And if you've given I guess I'm just like shocked because when I think Monk, I don't think you're allowed a wife, and I don't think you're allowed a Rolex. I kind of thought the things you're supposed to kind of give up a lot.
I thought so too.
I barely thought you could talk, and he's yapping.
Yeah, that you can talk.
I think Monk might be like, I think we're used to a different type of Monk. I don't know, but he's making the best of it.
Perhaps.
God, he's doing something different there.
Yeah,
monetizing Monk.
Yeah, he is.
God bless. I love a hustler. Oh, Marblehead really gets me going. Well, I want to end with some really in-depth stuff with Marblehead here, which is I want hometown highs.
Okay.
You're rolling 10 deep with the gals. And I say, I want to join.
Okay.
What's a hometown high? Where are we headed?
Well, what we would do a lot of the time is we would go over to somebody's house. A lot of us did live on the water, which was like beautiful.
Yeah.
One of my best friends, McKenna, her family home like overlooked the water, and she was right next to this place called the Village Dock. So we would sometimes we'd pregame there. Sometimes we'd be on the dock, and then we'd go out. We'd go to the Halibut. We'd go to this other place called Maddie's. I would say a boat day is another high.
Oh yeah.
When you can get on somebody else's boat and you don't have the responsibility to drive that boat.
Sure.
Hop on.
Wait, a question while I'm here on boats.
Sure.
Sailing versus boat.
Yeah.
What would you do more? Or it's kind of both. People sail?
It is pretty, it's very sailing heavy. So growing up, I would sail at camp a lot.
Sure. Seems like a lot more work.
Very much so.
Okay.
Very much so.
Okay.
My mom is a really good sailor. And she would, and have you ever heard of Fagawi? Which is actually I love this story because I'm like, this makes me kind of proud to be from Massachusetts. Okay. Fagawi is this sail race that goes from Boston to Nantucket.
Okay.
And the first time a couple of these Boston guys got on a sailboat, they got stuck in a bunch of fog. And they got kind of lost, and they were like, oh my God, da, da, da. So basically, it's called Fagawi because these Boston guys were like, we're the Fagawi. And that's why
cute.
It's called that. And
okay,
it's
cute much. Okay, hometown lows. This is we're going to Marblehead, and we simply don't have the time to go to this spot.
Yeah.
It's just not where we need to go.
We don't need to hit up New Town. There's this place called Old Town in Marblehead, which is where all the colonial, a lot of history, a lot of pretty houses are there. That's where you want to walk around. Newer Town is the other half of town that got burnt down.
Oh, whoa.
And so that's why there's it's a brand new, essentially. So near the high school, you don't need to walk around over there. It's not that cute. I
don't think as adults we should walk around the high school. I don't think we should.
No. Another high I will say, just to add on, you got to go to the neck. You got to do a neck run.
What's that?
Okay. So I should have said this from the get.
Please.
Jesus. So a neck run growing up was when you had your car and we have a causeway that would connect the town, causeway to this part of Marblehead called the Neck, and that's where all the rich people lived.
Okay.
It was all the mansions. That's where the lighthouse is. So you go across the causeway and you do this huge loop. It's probably, I don't know, it's probably like 3 miles long. And that was just like our religion. Like
you just drive it?
And it's called a neck run, and you're just like, do you want to go and do a neck run? And that was it. And you'd blast music. There were challenges where like once you hit the neck, you can't hit the brakes.
Fun.
So you would just sort of try and coast as much as you can. I don't know. It's just like a high. But another low would be, I would say, Devereux Beach, which is right next to the Neck. It's very rocky. Northeast beaches are not cute.
They're not
and I
what you think.
People need to realize that.
It's like having lived in LA the past 8 years, I get it. Beach culture is the way it is because the beach is actually
gorgeous,
huge too. It's like,
yes,
I was struck by how much sand from parking lot to ocean, whereas in Connecticut beaches, you're like, you don't have that much space.
No,
it's not a lot of vertical or like whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just not really the vibe. Like you don't, and you can't get in that much because it's cold a lot of the year.
Yeah.
The water is cold.
Chilly.
So the East Coast beaches, it's more for just like you get a big grinder and you eat a turkey grinder and Cheetos.
Ooh, God, I love
and that's
that.
just sort of the backdrop of where you're at.
That's why you do the boat, because the beach is not it. It's more of a, and that's the whole thing. It's not a beach town. It's a boat town.
Great. Okay. Marblehead. I get it.
You want to come?
I'm kind of bewitched. I really like it.
That's a perfect word to say.
I'm really bewitched by it. I think it's like, I get the vibe, and I think it's, sometimes you look at beach towns and you're like, it's rich, it's not relatable.
Yeah.
This one doesn't seem like it. It seems like it's like people are chilling, people are throwing up in bars.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's not as classy as you think. Everyone's a mess.
Everyone's a mess in Marblehead.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm going. I'll see you all there because you're going to want to be here. Fia, thank you so much for telling us about your town. Thank you for being here. Where can everybody find you?
Thanks for having me. Wait, this was so much fun.
This was really fun.
You can find me all over social media at Fia James. I have a podcast called We've Always Said That with my dear friend Yvette Segan. Doing music as well. Fun. I'm a musician as well, and coming out with some songs and some EPs in the near future.
Fun. Fia also has a great show. This is how we kind of know each other on Now This. Look at our Now This shows. They're very fun.
Yeah.
Crosswalk Crush, and then Library is the one I host. It's fun. A little shout out.
Look
Why not?
at us.
Come on.
Little shout out.
Busy girls.
Come
I love it. Thank you so much, Fia. Thank you, listeners. Bye. Hey, everybody. Thank you for listening to this episode of Town Gossip. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at Town Gossip Podcast and TikTok at Town Gossip. And if you have any town gossip from your hometown, email us at towngossippodcast@gmail.com for a chance to be featured.